Hello dear L1 students and welcome to lesson 6. Today we'll explore compound sentences, one of the most important structure in professional and technical writing, especially in the field of ICT. Compound sentences will make your writing more fluent, connected, and logical, which is essential in ICT contexts such as documentation, reports, and coding. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to recognize and construct compound sentences correctly, use coordinating conjunctions which start with the letters fanboys effectively, and apply compound sentences to improve ICT writing clarity. Technical writing is about precision, but it shouldn't sound robotic. Compound sentences let us connect ideas clearly, showing relationships between actions or results. They make your writing sound smoother and more professional by giving a logical connection between the ideas. Notice how combining short ideas improves flow and readability. For example, the system was tested, it performed well. These are two independent clauses, so how can we link them to give a logical and smooth natural language? We can say the system was tested and it performed well. Let's dig into the structure of a compound sentence. A compound sentence joins two complete thoughts, each with its own subject and verb. That is to say, it links an independent clause, a simple sentence including a subject and verb, plus a coordinating conjunction, plus an independent clause with its other subject and verb. The glue between them is a coordinating conjunction, a small but powerful word that shows how two ideas are connected. Let's look at these conjunctions. So, as you can see in the table, these are 7 conjunctions. I have chosen the word fanboys to make it easy for you to remember. We have for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Each one of these is used for a specific purpose. For example, for is used to show the reason. For example, the update was delayed, for the server was offline. Can't you remark the punctuation? The punctuation in a compound sentence is as follows. You start your first clause or your first independent idea or sentence by a capital letter. You use a comma, then a conjunction, which is one of these fanboys, then the second idea, and you end your sentence full stop. This is how you formulate a compound sentence. Otherwise, is not a compound sentence. Let's see the second conjunction, which is and. It's generally used for addition, for adding an idea that follows the first one. For example, the programmer wrote the code. This is the first independent clause. You make a comma, you use the conjunction and, then the second independent clause including its subject and verb. So let's repeat. The programmer wrote the code and the tester reviewed it. You can use nor when you have a double negation using the same subject. For example, the system didn't crash, nor did it lose its data. As you can see here, we are speaking in both clauses about the system, that is to say, the same subject. We have the negation in the verb to crash and the verb to lose. So instead of using repetition, you can use nor to double negation. We have another coordinating conjunction to show the contrast between the ideas, or as we can say, the opposition. For example, the software runs fast, comma, but it consumes more memory. These are two contrast ideas related by the conjunction but. You can use or when you have choices, yet for unexpected contrast, and so for the results. You can read them carefully to better understand. And let's move to the next part, which is the rules to write the conjunction. Rules matter, especially in technical English. Always place a comma before conjunction. Okay, so in a compound sentence where you have two ideas, you need to separate them by a comma. You write your first clause, a comma, then conjunction, and you carry on the second idea and you finish by full stop. But there is an exception. No comma for every short clauses. For example, here we have a command or an instruction. Verbs are in the imperative form. We are adding just a verb. So when they are so short, you don't use comma. Rule number 3, each clause must have a subject and verb. For example, the software was tested and fixed. This is not a compound sentence because it lacks a subject in the second part. So, to correct it, we can say the software was tested and the developer fixed it. Okay? I hope the rules are clear for you. Let's check some examples together. The computer runs quietly, comma, and it processes data efficiently. Here we have used and for addition. We have our comma. We have two, in the two parts, we have the subject and the verb. Okay? The router was restarted, comma, so the connection improved. The engineer updated the firmware, comma, but the error persisted. Here are two contrast ideas separated by the coordinating conjunction but, and as you can see the punctuation is the same no matter what coordinating conjunction you are using. You start your first idea, comma, a conjunction and the second idea, and you finish your sentence by a full stop. Make sure to have in each part or in each clause a subject and a verb to make it a compound sentence. Otherwise, it's not a compound sentence. Here are the common errors that you may fall into, which are to avoid. Let's check the first error. The code was long but clear. Here it's not a compound sentence because we don't have a subject and a verb in the second clause. In order to correct it, we can say the code was long but it was clear. We are speaking about the same subject, which is the code, so we replaced it by a pronoun to have a subject. We add the verb to be in order to have a subject and verb in the second part. Let's check the second error that you may fall into. For example, the software crashed. The software crashed. The developer fixed it. So, as you can see here, there is a missing part, which is the coordinating conjunction. And as we have an addition to another idea here, so you can use the conjunction and it will be the software crashed and the developer fixed it. Another Common error to avoid: the system was tested but needs updates. Here what is missing? There is a subject missing in the second part. However, we are speaking about the same subject, which is the system, but we need to replace it by a pronoun. The system was tested but it needs updates. So please, in order to better understand, don't forget to practice the homework in the PDF version of the work, and let's summarize our today's lesson. In today's lesson we have seen what is a compound sentence. We have mentioned that it joins two independent clauses by a coordinating conjunction, which is one of these fun boys, that is to say for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Always include commas when necessary, because punctuation is very important. And remember that compound sentences improve the flow of ICT writing and shows the relationship between. Don't forget the homework and the PDF version, of course, in Moodle platform. That was all for today. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and see you in the next lesson.